Welcome to Bold Talk series where creativity, leadership, ideas, and innovation come together. My name is Ludvik, and today I have a privilege to have a short one-on-one conversation with Jason Musante, the head of brand at MASTERWORKS. Jason, great seeing you. Welcome to our Bold Talk series. How are you?
Good. Great to see you, and thank you for the invitation. I'm good.
It's great. Great to hear all the way from New York, huh?
All the way from New York. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining me. And obviously, the MasterWorks, it's a great platform that a lot of people must know. And the reason why is because we're living in a world where uh, it's not just the inflation, but it's a dragflation, I call it. So, first of all, give us an overview of MasterWorks and what got you started working with MasterWorks.
Sure. So MasterWorks is a fintech platform. We have a unicorn status, achieved that after our Series A, and we fractionalize blue chip contemporary art. Banksy, Basquiat, Picasso. We file it with the SEC. We buy whole paintings, the best of the best, file it with the SEC, and then enable it to be invested in shares. And so our whole goal is to democratize investing, something that was really out of reach for most anyone, unless you were a billionaire or a multimillionaire, and allow people to invest in this incredible asset class. What's so interesting about the asset class is its performance over time, its low correlation to other markets like equities, and the aspect that it is a physical object that holds value. So my draw to the platform, to the startup, was just its innovation, everything you talked about, the creative idea of taking something that had not been securitized, turning it, securitizing it, the idea of access, making it open for more and more people, which we've been seeing around the world, and it's been a key, a marquee and a real force and a real driving principle for a lot of brands and businesses today. How do we enable more people to take part in and making their lives better?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the reason why I mentioned the inflation or dragflation is because, this is one great way to hedge against the inflation, owning piece of the art, and Masterworks allows that for anyone with a little cash to have that piece of the artwork. This is a great. So, as a creative leader, Jason, with an extensive experience in brand development, can you share your approach to inspiring and leading creative teams at the Masterworks, perhaps?
Yeah, well, I've been fortunate enough joining Masterworks early enough to where I was really fundamentally, built the team kind of from the ground up in partnership with the founders. And so what we try to do, and what I've found throughout my career is so crucial to building teams, is really being clear up front and establishing kind of how we will engage with each other. And so I build kind of principles that I live by, and I encourage my team to live by. And those are the principles of trust, transparency, and empathy. And I start with empathy, both having empathy for the team, what they're working on, what they're going through, them having empathy for me. Once you have understanding where they come from, making sure it's a place where people can bring their whole selves, to embrace inclusivity, and making sure people feel completely welcome and at ease. And you get the best creative from people when they just feel like they can be themselves and express what kind of makes them tick. That is the kind of the beauty of creativity. And so once you've built that really strong foundation of empathy, and I do build it in kind of the shape of a triangle, where empathy is the base and the largest part of it. On top of empathy, I build trust. You can't build trust, I believe. I trust you, you trust me, without us kind of knowing where we're coming from and setting that core foundation. I trust them, they trust me. And once we build trust, we can then move into transparency, which I find today is a real differentiator between a manager and a leader. And I like to think of myself as a leader. I like to set visions. I like to set goals with the team and then help them get there, be their biggest champion to enable them to achieve. And that requires us to be very open about performance. What are they doing well? What can they use improvement on? That also goes my way. What have I been doing well for them? What would they like me maybe to see change? And transparency is also about, hey, how's the business doing? Where's the business going? What's the bottom line? What transparency and pay, and a lot of different aspects of it. And once I've found, built this kind of pillar on those three aspects, you really unlock kind of exponential performance out of teams. They feel safe, they feel supported, they feel trust, they have trust in you, and they really will go and work extremely hard. And this is for every generation, from Gen X to Gen Z.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you created that environment for them, and by creating that environment, then that's where you can go and drive that performance that you're looking for,
Correct.
which a lot of
That's right.
leaders sometimes they don't. They just they create all these structures, but then the environment is not there, and then obviously there's a lack of productivity and trust. I mean, trust is such a big factor that you can't just start it from the top. You really have to create the way how you create it. So truly amazing. Now, how do you balance the need for innovation with the importance of maintaining a brand consistency and integrity? You know, the innovation's happening very fast. There's a competition is becoming more fierce. How do you balance that?
Well, I like to say that I'm kind of like analytical creative, right brain, left brain. You got to put it all together today. And I think really putting data at the core and technology as instruments, tools in our toolkit at the center of what we're doing. And what we're able to do then is to look at the data, apply a new tool, whether it's AI, generative AI, machine learning, and from those tools, we're able to then ideate, concept quicker, get to market, test and learn, really understand if something's working or not, listen to the data, not just if we like it or anecdotal data or, hey, my mom said she liked it, and really look at the numbers and be honest about that. And, really as a team, I try to make sure, even from copywriters, designers, editors, motion artists, everyone, we all look at dashboards. We're all thinking how we can look at the data, how we can test things more rigidly with more structure, so we can get the information we need to innovate safely, to innovate knowing that we're not just kind of throwing things at the wall, but that we actually have a little bit of signal in the noise and kind of know where the path leads through the forest, and we're able to kind of move as we go and be thinking about new ideas that follow that. And I find once you come to a room with people and you kind of explain, hey, we're moving in this direction based on this data set, it really opens up the conversation to be much more than just I like it, I don't like it. And I think that's a real key for creatives. You don't have to walk into the room and just hope that it's well, my boss liked it or didn't like it. I think you can really arm yourself with tools, technology, so that you have some, a little bit of firepower behind what you're saying, and be able to make your case that much better.
Yeah, data, data, data. It's very, very important. Now, in your opinion, what are the key ingredients for a successful brand campaign or a market initiative in today's digital age?
Sure, that's a really great question. I think more than ever, speed has to be in your toolkit. You have to create the frameworks and the systems in your organization where you can get to market very quickly. So you can capitalize on trends, so you can capitalize on pop culture, you can capitalize on things that are occurring, because the days of kind of tent polling and temporally related media plans. Sure, we know there'll be a Valentine's Day and a Hanukkah, a Christmas, a New Year's, but really those are few and far between from the everyday constant iteration. And so speed is number one. Two, you have to have a really great supportive process where you can be iterating at speed and know that, in a obviously like a regulated industry like ours, we have an incredible compliance team. We work hand in glove. We're ideating, we're getting to them, they're looking very quickly, they're getting back to us. So that speed and the systems and the process. And then I think you need a culture where it's from the top down. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to get out ahead of of your skis, to try some things, to test a little bit beyond the limits of what you're able to kind of do with the data. And because you find you get, I think one of the best data sets that we all have is our gut, right? What does it feel like? And once you spend a few years in the industry and you have a few wins and a few losses, you're able to kind of also apply your gut feeling. And I think when you bring those three things together, the ability to move at scale, the speed, the ability, the structure, and a framework and an organization that rewards moving quickly and not penalizing. I think that is the secret sauce, though well publicized, to getting brands to go where they need to go as quickly as they do to capitalize and grow top line, reduce increase their margin, reduce cost.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really interesting because we have so much information. We're drowning in the information, and I think one part that's missing is the wisdom, right? And wisdom, it's about listening to your gut, like you said. Like you gotta have that gut feeling. Like, is this the right direction that we're going? Beside this, or the other component you mentioned. Now, how do you stay ahead of these emerging trends and evolving consumer preferences? Like, it's tough
Yeah,
every single day deal with
it's
all these.
it is tough. It is tough. Look, there's a ton of great trend reports. Um, Deloitte, Accenture, my old agency, Huge, put out trend reports. BuzzSumo. There are a lot of fantastic platforms. You can, Trend Spotter. Uh, you know, I don't think I think the tools are there for the person who really wants to have their finger on the pulse. And by the way, you're a great trend spotter yourself. I mean, we all have TikTok, we all have Instagram Reels. Get on there, start spending some time,
Yeah,
um, because you can start to see trends and actions, activities, people, cultures, and things you didn't even know about bubble up, phrases, phraseology, fashion, art, everything kind of bubble and start to the algorithm and TikTok algorithms and uh, the real algorithm are so powerful, and it's their job to identify trends. It's
yeah,
their job to make sure they're showing you. And so that's what we try to look at. We try to take all of that in, and then, but once you get it, those trends can be gone tomorrow. So you got to kind of activate them immediately.
yeah. Very good. Um, Jason, what does bold mean to you? Not bold words, but bold itself.
Yeah, it's always that's the $1 million question. I think bold means believing in yourself. I think every great creator, every great leader has that inner voice, that inner, persona that leads them when they kind of maybe don't know exactly where the road goes. It's very easy to be safe. It's very easy not to be bold. Bold doesn't mean reckless. Bold means moving confidently in a direction and in a vision. So for me, being bold means listening, being honest with that vision, who you are as a person, and following it.
Awesome. I love it. Well, always be bold, Jason. Congrats on all your successes.
Thank
Thank you for joining me in this Bold Talk series, and look forward to seeing you soon again, maybe in New York.
you.
Until
Yes.
next time, take care, be great, and be bold always.